In today's video, I'm taking a look at one of the new pumps that I believe is going to be the best budget Wavemaker for you, and it comes in under $100. Now, the pump we're going to be talking about today is Hygger's Inverter Aquarium Wavemaker Pump, and this pump is the 18-watt pump that is good for 75 gallons all the way up to 200-gallon aquariums. And with the 125-gallon tank behind me, I thought we'd give it a try, program it, and set it up to see how it works. All right, so let's unbox the new Hygger Aquarium Inverter Wavemaker Pump. This one that I have here is the gray. There's two different colors. There's blue and gray. Let's take a look inside. So starting right off, beautiful packaging from Hygger. This is the LED controller that's going to control the Wavemaker. And you can see that it has two connections right here. You have your power and connection to the pump right here. Now this is a different type of LED controller from the previous Hygger pump that we set up on the 125, but it's really cool form factor, nice and small and sleek. Next, you have the instructions right inside. Looking inside the box, you have the pump here, you have the power cable down here that's going to connect to the controller. Let's go ahead and get that out. You also have a 3M mounting pad right here that can help mount it. And then you also have a kind of a pump protector right here. You can protect it from walking anemones, from fish getting sucked into the pump. This looks like it's a foam pad that's going to go around the actual pump. Let's get that out. It's tightly packed in there with that foam. Here's your power adapter right here to plug in the pump. And here is the pump, the inverter pump itself. Look at that. It fits right in the palm of my hand. And the form factor on it is very similar to the previous Hygger that we set up in the tank. Nice and sleek, nice and small footprint so that you don't have a long pump sticking out in your aquarium. This also comes with the magnetic holder here, so you have a magnet holding it to your tank, super strong, so be careful with that. Now it does look like it has a suction cup here for cable management inside of your tank. So you have the magnet to hold the pump in place, and then you have the suction cup to kind of manage your cable if you want to from the inside of your aquarium. And then you have plenty of cable to connect it to the controller here and get it to your power adapter to plug it in. Now this specific pump right here is good for tanks that are going to be 75 gallons all the way up to 200 gallons. And with the reef tank behind me being 125 gallons, I thought that this would make a great pump for my reef aquarium. Now the max water flow pushing out of this Wavemaker is going to be 3,400 gallons per hour. Now we're going to go over how to set it up in the reef tank. We're going to go over how to program the controller and get all that set up, and we're going to get this dialed in. You have 20 levels of wave strength with this pump, 99 levels of frequency that can be adjusted. So there's a lot of customization, a lot of different programs you can set with this pump. And a neat feature that I think is gonna be really good with this pump is that it has power off memory. So if you lose power, the pump is gonna remember the settings that it was at whenever it powers back on. So that's really cool in my opinion. Now, if it's anything like the Hygger Wavemaker that I already have on the tank, it's gonna be ultra quiet. So I'm excited about that. It's something that I love about Hygger Wavemakers is that they're really, really quiet, and just the overall design of them. So taking a closer look at this right here, you're able to take this filter here and kind of put it around your pump. So if you want to use that to kind of protect your fish from getting pulled in or your anemones walking into the pump, you can do that. And this will kind of close that up. Now, the only thing I will say about using a pad is that you're gonna have to clean this out for algae every now and then, so just watch out for that. But you can see how it covers the opening in the back of the pump. Now, compared to the previous Hygger pump that we put on the system, you can see that it's much more open in the back. So that's why they're giving you that option to cover it up, because any fish that might become weak or an anemone that's gonna walk by here, I'm guessing that this pump being so strong, with that much opening, it could probably suck in the fish. But if you have this over it, protecting it, that's not gonna happen. Okay, so taking a closer look at the controller here, you have your mode setting button right here. You have your frequencies, which we'll talk about once we set it up, 1 to 99 right here. You also have your flow button right here, because the really cool thing about the inverter pump is that you can use this pump to lead or to follow. So if you have multiple pumps, they will sync up wirelessly, and you can use one to lead the others, and the other ones will follow that pump based on the mode and the settings that you have. And they'll do that all wirelessly, which is really, really cool. This last button here is going to be your Wi-Fi and your feed button. So the Wi-Fi button, of course, is how the pumps are connecting to each other, and the feed mode is going to be where you can push and hold this button for 3 seconds, and it's going to turn off the pump for 10 minutes, allowing you enough time to feed your tank. Now, hooking up the pump is nice and simple. Just like our previous pumps that we've taken a look at, there's a 3-pin connection from the controller to the pump. And so you just take that, and we're just gonna line those up. They just push together. And then the controller side has the tightening lid or connection that's going to tighten it down and make that connection secure and tight. And then you have your power adapter connection here, which is going to plug into the outlet. So you're going to take that, and that plugs right in there. Okay, so now it's all connected. Let's go ahead and get this set up and programmed in the tank. So where am I going to put the pump in the 125? Well, right now I currently have this pump right over here, and I'm going to move that from this side to the other side, and then we're going to get the inverter connected. So if you look at the inverter pump, you can see right here just how large the openings are in here. That's why that protective covering piece is going to be important, I think, for this one, so that no critters get lost inside or get sucked in by the inverter pump. All right, so let's go ahead and put that on. Be safe than sorry. All right, so there we go. There it is with the screen going around, or the protective covering. Okay, so looking at the controller here, as soon as I turned it on, we are already at M2 with a frequency of 23. But taking a look at the modes, you have M2 and M2. M2 is the classic wave, and it's important to note that the controller itself is not waterproof. So you want to put it in a way that is away from getting splashed or taking in water from the tank. So that's important to note, that this casing is not waterproof. Now, to program this LED Hygger controller, it's a lot easier as far as programming goes. All your buttons are right here. As you notice, if you push the mode button, you can switch from M2 to M3, M4, M5, M6, all the way to M1 again. So those are your 6 different modes. And again, your M1 mode is going to be your constant flow. M2 is going to be your classic wave. M3 is going to be a classic reverse wave. M4 is going to be a sine wave mode. M5 is your random wave mode. And M6 is a single-sided switching of wave making mode. This is when you're using two of these Hygger pumps as a lead and a follow, and they will alternate between each other, switching waves back and forth. Now, once you've selected a mode that you like, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick the classic wave, you can change the frequency or the amount that it will pulse between waves all the way up from 1 to 99. Now you can also long press this button to rapidly increase the numbers. So if I held this down, it should rapidly increase. It started to do it, but I don't want to go that much. Well, I guess we'll just do it. Here's an example. You can see it going all the way up. It's going to go all the way to 99 and come back down to 1. But I think I like where it's pulsing at around 23, 24, so I'm going to bring it back down to that. The FL and light button, these are a shared button for flow, gear, and night mode. So night mode, you just press and hold it for 3 seconds and the screen display will go on a night mode. Wi-Fi and feed mode, of course feed mode, when you hold this down it'll go into a 10-minute feeding mode. And that's pretty much it for the controller, nice and simple. So what's the difference between classic wave mode and sine wave mode? The difference is that sine wave is more of a gradual increase and decrease over the waves in your aquarium, versus the classic wave mode is more of an on and off type of setting where it pumps out and pulses, turns off, pumps out and pulses, whereas the sine, again, gradually increases and decreases. So whichever one of those you like, you're gonna find it with this pump. So when you plug in the pump and turn it on for the first time, it does turn on in one of the modes. For me, it turned on in M2, which is the classic wave mode, but it didn't turn it on at a high frequency, so water didn't splash around everywhere, which I really do appreciate. So now we can go ahead and dial in the programming and set what mode we want. Now the difference between this one and the prior Wavemaker from Hygger that I covered is that the previous Hygger pump has an actual day, evening programming, so you can program different modes based on the time of day. This pump, you can only select the mode that you want the pump to run during the course of the day. So it will stay on whatever wave mode that you select. Now this pump is actually holding up to the claim that it's ultra quiet. They say it's under 30 decibels, and where I don't have a decibel meter to show you that readout, I can tell you that it is extremely quiet, just like the other Hygger pump that I've used in the past and that I still have on the tank. Both of these pumps, ultra quiet. This inverter pump, extremely quiet, and I really like the form factor and the size of it in the aquarium so far. Like I said, if you get one of these pumps, you may want to put that mesh protector around the pump so that your critters and fish and stuff don't get sucked in the back of it. But overall, I am really enjoying this pump. Super easy to program, super easy to set up. So if you've liked this video, then I know you're gonna like this video here. Go ahead, click or tap the screen to watch that. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing, and I will see you in the next one.